Okay. Alright. Memories flowed back. Kyoko is gone. And a mysterious masked body appears. The threads holding them all together begin to spin and twine into one. Okay, cool. Alright, so I'm gonna once again check everything, set my skills, and we'll be ready in a moment. Ugh. Okay, sorry about that. So, I don't know why I just apologized, but anyway. So, here's a few things that I noticed that are probably gonna be part of the case that I was like, how is that gonna fit in? But it makes a lot of sense, okay? So, I was wondering about the arrows and the duct tape. I was like, what is that all about? What if the arrows were all bundled up and just used? Because we know that the body had... Hold on, Mr. Kitty is just chilling around here. We know the body had other wounds. So, had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. But what's weird about that is that there was no blood around the body. So, unless it was all washed away, but the body was dry also. However, there was a tarp, so it was probably moved. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe, and the body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Now, if you look at this, I mean, I don't know how thick a metal pipe is. A set of titanium arrows was found in the dojo locker. There appeared to be 10 in total. I was like, maybe they could have been bundled up and like kept wrapped together, and just like act as a weapon of some sort. I don't know. I really don't know. Now there's that, and there's also the chicken. The chicken, I think, was the blood. Because it makes no sense. Like, the blood doesn't make any freaking sense. There's... Why did it not go anywhere? It's just... I don't know. Okay, we'll figure it out as we go. But there's like... Also, this still feel like it's Junko. But the tattoo also points to Mukuro. Who is Mukuro? We've never seen her. Maybe they were disguised as Junko this entire time. And Junko has a sort of like higher power of some sort. I don't know. Because I'm still very suspicious of her. Not gonna lie. Okay. So the sprinklers go off at 7:30. Also, when the body was found, this is what I was talking about. Makoto wakes to the morning announcement at 7 a.m. Makoto and Hina arrive in the dining hall at 7:30. So between 7 and 7:30, I would assume Hina was waiting for Makoto in the dining hall. But is that actually where she was? Because, I don't know. But honestly, things are looking pretty bad for Kyoko right now. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see. Let's start the class trial. All rise, motherfucker.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
What? What are you talking about? She's right there.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
Yeah.
No, that's a ghost.
Or a robot. You never know. There could be robots involved in this.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
You know.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Her gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Hero. Come on, dude. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to. Make your argument. Tattoo? Yeah. Tattoo and fake nails.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Hold on. Just want to see something real quick. It was body after the explosion? Is that right? Yeah.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Oh, the fake nails. Okay, I get it. Alright. I know that body isn't Kyoko's and I know I can prove it. Alright, the fake nails.
Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
I'm a ghost? Interesting.
Gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No.
Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko there is just a...
Okay, then prove the dead body wasn't wearing...
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
There you go. Boom.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, cute. Wanna see me break a lot of people?
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember?
Yep.
I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
You'd need fingerless gloves.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
I mean, not really. But,
Jeez,
you know.
man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Bro, shut up!
Anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Exactly.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life.
When I touch dead bodies and blood and stuff.
If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Yep.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Alright, stop it, stop it. Let's just get around to it. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Oh. Make your argument. Tattoo on the right hand. It's probably that?
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
Who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Okay. And the one thing that can tell us was on the victim's own body. Yeah, but which one should I
Kyoko
shoot?
really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Oh, damn it. What? You think something I said is wrong? Sorry. Sorry.
If Kyoko really is still...
Then who died?
There's gotta be... I don't think so. The face was scorched and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
There we go. Oh, that stupid pink thingy. Alright, cool.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
A wolf of Ragnarok.
Her master must have made her get it to be like, you're my bitch.
No.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
I mean, when you think about cults and stuff like that, and like some people do that, they do brand their victims, which is freaking sick and twisted. But yeah,
No,
don't do it.
that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. Alright. Here we go.
I got it!
I got it!
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is the wolf. This is probably my favorite song. I love it so much. It's a wolf! Boom! That was easy.
Understand?
Now I understand. Now I'll show you.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf face.
He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Oh, nice.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Yes, indeed.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a true last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from...
Kyoko.
Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Oh, hello.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
It wasn't?
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
But that's part of the case, though.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
You stake your family name on it? What if you're the killer, though? What if you're the killer? Because you did go back to the garden at nighttime before going to get the others. Interesting.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Oh, jeez. I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm thinking about the case right now, and it would make sense if it was Byakuya, because, and this is weird, but the fact that he also like took the lead on investigating and everything, he was trying to lead us. Maybe if it's him, he was trying to lead us to every single clue, or like, I don't know. If it's Byakuya, I'm gonna be like a little satisfied at the end.
Wait, no. There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
What?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be 2 suspects. Makoto and Kyoko?
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm.
Yeah, but that's shady though. And Hiro also went to the garden. If you look at the chicken, Yasuhiro claims there were, without a doubt, 5 chickens just before nighttime last night. So just before nighttime. The fact that Byakuya went after? Oh boy, that makes it super shady. And you could have covered it. I mean, who would have done that? Unless he got Toko to do it. Somehow.
That at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Objection!
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
Come on, Mr. Kitty. Come on, my lap. Time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body. So at like 9.
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered? At 9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? I feel like they're in cahoots. Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01. I'm trying to remember if Genocide Jill showed up before the last couple days. I think it was always Toko. Unless she sneezed.
It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
Yeah.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in,
Yeah.
so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. If I can provide an alibi for that period, I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Okay. Sprinklers. Yeah, it's probably that. Or exploded body analysis.
We've established.
Hold on. Wait a second. Exploded body analysis. The upper half of the body remained on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking wet, while the bottom half remained dry, so it's that. Or the sprinklers.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think.
Okay.
So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
I got you, man! There's something that happens in the garden at the same time every morning. Thinking back, the corpse was almost totally dry. In which case I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Oh, it's not the sprinklers? God damn it. Oh, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm gonna be goofing up a whole bunch.
For the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 and 9 o'clock. Yep. And
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's not it? Do I have to...
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections now would...
Objections? Okay, yeah, I know it's the sprinklers. The status of the dead body.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, what the f...
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Alright, it was that simple. God dang it. Sorry, I'm doing so poorly right now. I know what...
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right?
Yep.
So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How?
Oh my god. Girl, please.
Are
You were there.
saying the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew
Ew.
decent words?
Stop it.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
Just stop. Holy crap.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
I'm gonna start doing that, girl. Seriously, like, stop it.
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Kyoko with certain evidence and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Oh, is it? Oh yeah, it's that time. It's rhythm game
I
time.
admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you.
Oh god, that's not what I wanted.
I don't know anything. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing.
Final strike.
How can you say it wasn't the
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Yep.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, Shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Indeed.
They only got the top wet. The bottom was completely dry. What a brutal maniac!
What? Why?
I'm so sick of her.
Me too.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
Yep.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Yep.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Yay, good for me.
The only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Bro, I feel like that's a setup. I feel like you're onto something. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Me too. I hope it's not her. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Okay.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
Yes, girl.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You're an idiot.
But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
No, it's not.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Why are you throwing me under the bus?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Hiding inside a freaking plant?
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain
Oh, the
something
tarp?
to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something at the scene was used to cover the body? Could it have been the tarp?
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that.
What? Why?
Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would water... What? That doesn't make any sense.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? Probably because she wants us to refute her claim so we can, like, focus on somebody else, I would assume. No, I can't think about that right now. A tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Let's go. Body before the explosion, yeah.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, it's wrong.
Boom.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it.
I'm kind of wondering if it was used to move the body from like the dirt or something, but no. I don't know. Maybe if it was hidden somewhere?
Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
Yeah.
Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
The chicken? Chicken. It has to be the chicken, right? Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
From a chicken.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
It got blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... Why would you do that to poor chicken?
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
That poor little chicken on the left. Oh, I love chickens.
But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood?
Yep,
Man, that's messed up.
it is.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Jeez.
I wonder if
I mean,
the
I
killer
guess.
had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
That's why I'm saying, like, it was probably done on like a dirt path or in a flower patch. And probably the chicken got thrown in the Monokuma flower or something.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait.
Oh no, you're right, it's totally
the
upside
hands were in
down.
the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Holy crap. I have not been paying attention. I've just been focusing on the nails. Holy crap. Whoops.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
What? Where did I go?
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Also, I wasn't gonna say it's not possible. I was gonna say that's not what happened. The suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Disguised dead body has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Let me take a look at that, because I'm not sure I quite followed what her reasoning was. Okay, so the murder took place before the sprinklers turned on. The suspect covered the body with the tarp to prevent it from getting wet. Oh, excuse me. My eye is itchy as heck. Later, when they removed the tarp, the suspect placed the white jacket on the body. The jacket had previously been treated with blood to make it look like the corpse had been wearing it. So you're saying is it couldn't have possibly been the knife, right? Had to have been something else. Okay.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one.
Indeed, sir.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
No, let's not.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
Nope.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yep.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up until now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Disguised dead body, exploded body analysis, fragments near the dead body. Alright, let's see what this is.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So
Nope.
there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with
Stab,
it.
stab.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Shut up. I've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was moved, which means when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body, it was already
The
dead.
knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, it's not.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right?
Yep.
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body,
It was a setup to make it
the
seem
knife
like.
had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
Yeah, she was already dead before that.
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Yep.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
No, because the other wounds were old. The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. A single time with a knife.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Hero, come on, pay attention, dude.
Then the knife
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward.
Dude, I'm so suspicious of you and Togo right now.
They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
Well, wouldn't you know,
If you
Hina?
bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
I mean, that's not impossible.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Why does it always fall back on to me? There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. Fragments near the dead body.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course,
Oh, sorry, my eyes itchy.
we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma.
Look, Toko holding the legs is just my favorite part. What the heck is Byakuya doing? Honestly, that's all I want to know.
It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
It was a blow to the head, probably.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. We need to concentrate. Monokuma file number 5. Mambo number 5.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Oh, whoops. My bad. Like, you think some mistakes lurking in what I said? Yeah. The wounds were old, dude.
Then, shall we continue the debate?
Okay.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Oh, I gotta think about this one. The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh, which only leaves...
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
There you go.
No,
Haha!
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
Man, so many people getting hit in the head. It's freaking crazy. It's just like, bonk.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
Nope.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
What if it really was the arrows that were just bundled up together and taped together? Titanium is pretty solid, I would assume. They're sticks, but they're strong, like what Byakuya said, so it could be possible.
Well, maybe it the other way and hit her with the handle.
That doesn't seem safe at all.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Yeah.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
True.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Ew, Toko, stop it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Well, okay, at the very least, there's that.
Seriously?
Yeah, big same. I want Hina's side,
We want to
seriously.
figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Yep.
I got it!
Yep.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed him. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
It really does, doesn't it?
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Is it the duct tape? Bloody duct tape, yeah.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
There you go.
No, it's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Duct tape! Life is like a hurricane. Duct tape. Sorry. Being a
Inside the
dumbass
dojo
again.
locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak. You put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Wow. That's odd, isn't it, Toko? We should apply this to, like, everything. All the cases and everything.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. That's a lie.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer.
Are you talking about yourself right now?
You know what will happen if you do, don't you?
God, I swear to God, I'm gonna slap him in the fucking face.
If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. Must be connected to that dojo locker.
I got it!
But
The one
Byakuya
thing
had...
that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is...
Byakuya had Kyoko's room key. That's why I'm super suspicious of him.
Right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle.
Oh, you shady ass bitch.
Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
God. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, sir. Because you freaking mess with a crime scene. I don't trust you. I don't trust you at all. She's only ever been helpful this entire time, not you.
It's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something.
Have you been to my room?
Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
Was she checking to see if she could find the knife?
I was just protecting you.
Oh! Oh my god, the sweet child!
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me? No, I don't believe that.
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Excuse me, no! There's a lot of stuff we need to go through again.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? Boop, 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 boop. Because you did it, Byakuya! If it's him, oh god, I'm gonna be so happy. When the body was found...
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
It means your ass is grass, again! Okay, when the body was found... Sorry, just gotta check. Makoto wakes to the morning announcement. Makoto meets the others in the gym. Togo is told to find a pickaxe in the garden, where she discovers the body.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
Oh, really?
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Exactly! Exactly! Let me just take a sip of water. I'm gonna toast to Byakuya's demise shortly. I can feel it. I can, at the very least, hope for it. Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
That was probably
You
it.
stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker,
What?
and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But
Could I really have done that?
Okay, yeah. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, it's wrong.
Get wrecked, son.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant.
Yep.
And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not exactly true. It was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. Hmm? But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Oh boy, I don't know. Is there some deeper meaning hidden in what Toko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? You follow Kyoko! I have to decide right here and right now whether or not to expose... Oh my god! Run away! Can I not save? Oh my god, that's probably... Oh no. Hold on.